Dr. Cornel West is among America's most provocative intellectuals, a Princeton professor and lifelong pioneer of working-class rights and racial justice. At this year's Left Forum conference in New York City, Dr. West's appearance drew thousands of activists aiming to revitalize the American left.
I want to be in solidarity with Martin Luther King, Jr.
Once a vocal supporter of U.S. President Barack Obama, Dr. West tells RT why his opinion has drastically changed. Dr. West, you have mentioned several times that Americans are working harder than ever before. They are earning less than ever before. And the economic disparities in this country are deepening and deepening.
Absolutely.
You call yourself a critical supporter of U.S. President Barack Obama. How would you assess his leadership, and particularly President Obama living up to the promises that he made when he became president?
Well, I think that he has now aligned himself with forces that promote the abandonment of poor people and the neglect of working people. So I would characterize Obama as a charismatic version of American exceptionalism with a Keynesian neoliberalism at home and a liberal neoconservatism abroad, which is to say he's the friendly face of the American empire abroad. And internally, he's a centrist now leaning toward the right. And he's in the process, actually, of becoming, very sadly, a pawn of big finance and a puppet of big business. And that's a very sad assessment because he began with such magnificent democratic rhetoric during the campaign.
His rhetoric, absolutely.
You see, but when he brought in Geithner and Summers and Holbrooke and others on the foreign policy, it was clear he was recycling Clintonites. It was a neoliberal reconstitution, and it was the very moment in which we could have undermined the neoliberal consensus, both domestically and internationally. He decided to reaffirm it and reconstitute it.
With all due respect, Dr. West, Americans did know where his campaign contributions were coming from.
That's true.
It was clear and transparent and known that Goldman Sachs and other Wall Street banks were making very large political donations to Barack Obama.
But ordinary people gave him a lot of money too.
Yes.
So you had,
small donations.
we thought that it was some balancing because yes, he got big money from Goldman Sachs, he got big money from Wall Street oligarchs, but then he got all of this financial and spiritual and moral support from everyday people and the trade union movement. So you would think there would be some counterbalancing, and that's what we have yet to see in the 2.5 years. And of course, right now, it's just he's preoccupied with re-election.
Do you think the growing consensus among Americans right now is that there needs to be a mobilization among the people to bring about change, and that change can't come through the leadership of one man?
I think that is a fundamental message, but I mean, unfortunately, that was said in the campaign 2008. It's never about one elected official. It's really about the people organizing and mobilizing. But at the same time, we have to acknowledge that these Wall Street oligarchs and corporate elites tied to not just the financial corporate complex, we'll be talking about this tonight, but the military-industrial complex, tied to the prison-industrial complex, tied to the entertainment corporate media complex, makes it very difficult for people to believe that we can make a difference. And that's what we're here at this Left Forum, to let people know we can make a difference. We have in the past, we do now, and we will in the future.